Hey guys, today's video is on Rolling Stones by Tobias Levin. I know a lot of you guys have asked me to make this over the years, and I finally feel good enough to teach it. Now, of course, I'm not a master like Tobias, because he's of course been doing it for way longer, but I do think I'm good enough to give you guys tips, and of course, all credit to Tobias. I'm just here to teach you guys so that you can get good tips and expand your arsenal of moves. Now, the original tutorial is on Cardistry Archives channel, and I'm sure if you go around in the Cardistry community, you might find some people with the video in their Google Drive. So it's kind of public domain at this point, and it's not available for newer cardists to learn off Dealersgrip anymore. So that's why I'm making this, because that's not fair to newer cardists who want to learn that weren't around whenever it was available on Dealersgrip. And again, it's kind of just posted everywhere so you can find the tutorial, but the tutorial itself is mostly just slow motion demos, which can be hard to learn from, especially again for newer cardists or just any cardist really. So that's why again I'm trying to just give you guys tips. But yeah, anyway, with all that being said, let's get started with the tutorial. Okay, so really the main prerequisite would be something like the scissor cut. And if you're good at kind of swivel moves like that, and then the one between your thumb, that would definitely be helpful for this move. To start, you're going to want to hold the deck in your non-dominant hand with your index finger on top. I like to hold it kind of close to the middle, and then your thumb on bottom, also kind of close to the middle. Then you're going to come over with your dominant hand, and you're going to put your middle finger on this side of your index finger. So middle finger goes on the dominant side, so if you're right-handed it would go on the right side, if you're left-handed it would go on the left side. And then your thumb also down here on your dominant hand, so basically like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to break off about 2/3 or a half, just no more than 2/3 I would say, but maybe closer to a half of the deck with your middle finger. And then you're going to break off that packet about in half, or maybe break off a little bit more with your thumb, so you have this Z grip. It might be a good idea to have this middle packet smaller than the other two because it's going to be rotating. So break off, and then from here your dominant hand is going to go downwards, so the packet rotates around your non-dominant thumb and your dominant middle finger, and you're going to bring your dominant hand down until your non-dominant pinky finger can come over and contact again kind of near the middle, but not too far in the middle, maybe a little bit more space closer to where your thumb was, so that will give it more room to rotate if you contact closer to the dominant side, but also not too far over on the edge to where you're barely gripping it. So kind of to the middle, but slightly leaning on the dominant side. And then you're just going to keep rotating that packet by moving your dominant hand in that clockwise motion if you're right-handed. And so you're going to bring your middle finger towards the top, and you're going to land here, and you can drop that packet. So once you get to this position, you want to keep this packet underneath, the one held by your middle finger and thumb. You want to keep it underneath, but you can let go of the packet that you just rotated with your middle finger, and you can move the packet over and contact the top by your middle finger with your non-dominant thumb. And from here, you want to break off about half of that packet. And then from here, you're going to do two things at once. You're going to extend this top packet in your dominant hand by rotating it to where these two packets can switch positions. So basically, this top packet held by your middle finger is on top, and then you rotate it to where it's underneath the packet between your two thumbs. Now for the scissor cut, you kind of want to extend it back by moving your thumb back as your other hand extends for this part. So there's two extensions going on at once. So here you have these two packets extended, and you have that scissor cut extended. But then once these two packets switch and this one's on bottom, you can bring your thumb down to lay that packet down and square with the scissor cut. So break off, extend, switch, lay down. And then from here, you're going to take your index finger of your dominant hand and contact by your thumb on the dominant side. And you want to break off about half of that packet. Now hopefully you have about 5 to 7 cards in each of these packets that are going to be turning, so that you have not too many to where they start splitting, but you also have enough for breaking cards off, because we're going to still be breaking off another packet here in a second. So to do the main Rolling Stones action, you want to bring your dominant hand downwards again to where your pinky of your non-dominant hand can contact this packet held by your index finger and thumb. And that pinky is going to take over the grip from your thumb. And from here, this is, for me, the hardest part, but you're going to rotate both of these two packets, the one held by your pinky and index finger, and the one by your two thumbs. And you're going to rotate the packet to where your index finger is now on top, and can place that packet on top. Now for the full version of Rolling Stones, you don't want to land it square, you want to catch it with your index finger. But if you're just doing not the full version, you can just drop it. And of course you want to keep this packet square between your two thumbs. Now usually when I do that, the packets start splitting, but somehow I managed to keep them together. For me, this is the hardest part, because when I first started practicing, either this packet would fall or the one between my thumbs would start splitting. And that's very much something you have to, of course, get comfortable with through practice and placements on the thumb. For me, I find this little area right above my knuckle is where the packet feels most comfortable to be held. So it's not like right on the knuckle, and it's not too close to your fingertips, and it's definitely not like past your knuckle like here. It's just like slightly above. So hopefully that makes sense. And another tip is to, of course, not practice this move with the brand new deck of cards. Get a clumpy one. So rotate, and if you're doing the full version, catch that packet with your index finger. But if you're not doing the full version, you can rotate and drop. And sometimes when you split, as you just saw, you'll get single cards, which is fine if you're doing just the climatic part of the move in a combo. But if you're doing the full version of the move, you don't want to have any single cards, usually at least. So besides the placement of the packet, you want to just work on like the grip. So like how hard you're kind of like pushing your thumbs together to keep that packet together. Because if it's too loose and you're rotating, then of course like cards are going to start slipping. But you don't want it to be so tense and tight that your movements are rigid. So basically, if you're not used to swiveling packets like that, definitely keep at it, keep practicing. It took me a few weeks or months to even get comfortable with just that part. Like I could not move past that part for a while when practicing Rolling Stones. So you can kind of practice it as a repeater kind of move, because you're in that same position when you end. so you can just keep breaking off packets and trying again. To move on from the main climatic motion from Rolling Stones, you're going to take this bottom packet between your middle finger and thumb and rotate it back to the top. Then you're going to take your index finger and pinky finger and contact the long edges to where you can let go with your middle finger, ring finger, and thumb, so that that packet is only being held by those two fingers. Now as you do that regrip, you're going to take the packet between your two thumbs and move downward by pushing your thumb down to replace that grip with your thumb with your pinky finger. And as you do that, you're also going to grab that packet that we dropped and held onto with our index finger and pinky finger. You're going to grab that packet with your thumb and put it in scissor position. Now even if you drop the packet with your index finger and you lost the break, there might still be a break with your pinky finger. Or even if you drop the break on both sides, you might just be able to pick up some cards and move on with the flourish like that. So it's no big deal if you drop the packet, just it's easier of course if you have the break. Now from here, you're going to take your index finger of your dominant hand and move it to the short edge by your thumb so that you can let go of that middle packet with your thumb. And then your thumb is going to come down to the short edge of that packet by your pinky and break off however many cards you can, maybe about half of that packet. It's already a small packet, so it might be hard to grab cards, but you just want at least one or two maybe. You're going to extend kind of into a display where both your thumbs and these scissor cut grips are going to extend upwards, and you kind of want to bring your hands away from each other so that this middle packet kind of gets this little slant, so it's kind of compact. And then you extend. So for the closer, you extend, but then you want to take this scissor cut packet over the base packet, because then you're going to drop it like you would for a regular scissor cut. And you want to bring this packet that you extended with your other hand and rotate it by just turning your wrist to where you can rotate it to where it's going to go and land underneath that middle packet. And then you're just left with this final packet, which you can really do whatever you want, like a combo. And so what I like to do is I like to take my thumb and move it over by my pinky. So it's by my index finger, but I move it by my pinky to grab that long edge. And then I rotate my wrist to where my index finger, which was on top and facing like the ceiling, to where it rotates and faces the ground. Then I grab the packet with my index finger and thumb, and I just do trigger, which I do have another video on if you have small hands and struggle with that. So one more time for the closer. Do the main climatic action, get that break for scissor cut later, rotate this packet on top, re-grip as you come down to grab that scissor cut packet and switch with your pinky finger, move your index finger to the short edge, move your thumb to the bottom short edge, break off cards, extend for the display, and then keep going to where this scissor cut can close and this one can close underneath that middle packet, and you just kind of drop it all and then grab with your thumb on this bottom short edge and rotate to do trigger. Now of course there are also many combo possibilities. I'm not going to go over many of them, but I will say if I don't want to do the full Z grip opener, I'll just do swing cuts and swivel cuts because it gets into the position really easily. You just have to do that one swivel motion right here, and then you're pretty much in position. And of course you can go into other classic Dealersgrip moves. So yeah, that's a great thing about Rolling Stones, and something good you can play around with. Alright guys, so that was the tutorial. As always, feel free to comment down below if you need any help, or if you just want to comment something else. And as usual, I am of course trying to get more videos out to you guys. I do of course have some other videos planned. The actual date for which they come out is to be determined. But anyway, hopefully you guys like this video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I would really like this channel to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of February, because 1, that'd just be really cool, and 2, I'll of course do a giveaway, and who doesn't like giveaways? So please subscribe. But yeah, stay tuned for the other videos to come, and hopefully I'll see you next time.